Hello everybody, my name is Doug and welcome to a bit of a different video on my channel. Now before we get started, I must just really quickly apologise for any background noise that you may experience. I have got two fans on in my room, like one coming through the door and one on me, because we're having a hot spell in England for whatever reason. This never happens, and so my body's not used to it, and sitting here getting all hot and sweaty is just a no-go. So we're not going to go there. We're going to keep the fans on, so apologies if you do hear any background noise. Now, you may be looking at your screens being like, why are you showing me FIFA? You never do FIFA videos. I've got like one FIFA video on my channel, and that was just gameplay from the Xbox One when that first came out, so that was months ago. Now, FIFA is probably my second most played game on the Xbox One, and probably was on the Xbox 360. That's behind Call of Duty, and obviously on the Xbox One, COD Ghost. So, yeah, I do play FIFA quite a bit. I'm really into my football, absolutely love my football. And the reason I'm making this video is because the World Cup officially started yesterday. It was the opening game between Brazil and Croatia. If you didn't hear the score, then close your ears now, cover your ears. It was 3-1 to Brazil, if you didn't know, and you wanted to know. And yeah, so it was the opening game yesterday. World Cup's officially kicked off. There's Spain versus Holland on tonight, or Spain versus Netherlands, whatever you want to call them. And so I'm really excited for that. Definitely going to watch that. But I thought in honour of the World Cup starting, I'm going to take this chance to make a bit of a different video, a bit of a more fun video that I think you guys will enjoy. And I'm going to tell you 10 strange facts that you've probably never heard before, well, some of them you wouldn't have heard before, about the World Cup. And it's not just this World Cup, it's throughout World Cup history, so right back to I think there's even a fact about the first ever World Cup. So yeah, we're going to go through them. I think you guys enjoy it. Be sure to hit the like button if you do enjoy it, and hit subscribe if you're new around here and haven't already. I just hit 400 subs, guys, and I'm absolutely pumped. So let's keep going for the 500. I've got a special video planned for 500. I'm not too sure, I'm picking between one or two, but I think I've got my mind fixed on one especially. So yeah, look forward to that, but you got to hit that subscribe button to be able to see it. So without further ado, let's get into these strange, weird facts. So then, the biggest ever attendance for a World Cup match is 200,000 people, and Wembley Stadium has a capacity of 90,000 people, so that just shows you how many people that actually is, especially in the old-fashioned stadiums. They all squeezed into the Maracanã Stadium in Brazil to watch a match between Brazil and Uruguay during the 1950 World Cup. And this was a huge game. This is a game that went down in history because Brazil lost, and I think they lost. And so, yeah, the fact that that many people were at that game is absolutely insane. That's unheard of in football. The fastest goal ever scored at a World Cup was knocked in by Turkish superstar Hakan Şükür against South Korea in the 2002 World Cup. It took him just 11 seconds. Which is just crazy. I think the quickest Premier League goal is something like 7 seconds, and that's going to be a really tough one to beat. So, yeah, way to go, Şükür. That's pretty impressive. At World Cup 1990, each United Arab Emirates player who scored was given a Rolls Royce, and that's just stupid. Like, a Rolls Royce is so expensive, and was especially expensive back in the day, back in 1990. That was like the car. If you had that car, then you were either one, a massive bellend, or two, a very, very rich person. And so yeah, the Arabs are known for their money and their wealth, but still, that's just crazy thinking about if you score one goal. Yeah, that's some sort of kind of inspiration right there. Maybe we should do that for the England team. Might score a few more goals. Norman Whiteside is the youngest player to ever take the field at the World Cup. He was just 17 years, 1 month and 10 days old when he played for the Northern Ireland team against Yugoslavia at the 1982 World Cup in Spain. The fact is pretty well known. What isn't so well known is that when he got back home, his mum grounded him for a week for not calling her to let her know that he'd arrived safely in Madrid. So that's some strict parenting right there. You think you'd be proud of the fact that your son had gone to a World Cup and played for his country, but, you know, I mean, if I don't call my parents and tell them that I'm safe somewhere, then they get pretty angry, but I'm sure that if I was at the World Cup, they'd be fine with it. In 1974, the Zaire team tried to steal a complimentary BMW team bus by driving it home all the way from Germany. So this was obviously at the Germany World Cup. Oh, wait, yeah, 1974, Germany, obviously. Duh, it wasn't the 2006 one. Completely forgot the year that I even just said myself, but so a BMW, I guess, was a pretty big deal. I've never heard of Zaire. Where's Zaire? They must have been a rather poor country to have had to have the incentive to steal a team bus when it's complimentary, because that's not something you do. It's complimentary, it means you can have it, but I don't think it means you can take a whole bus. So I think they got the wrong idea right there. Before the first ever World Cup final in 1930, the referee ordered 60,000 fans to be searched. Security found 1,600 revolvers in the crowd. So just as well the ref asked for the crowd to be searched, because if they didn't, then a lot of players may have died, or just a lot of people in the crowd. Which is, why would you take a revolver to a football game? You can't even get into a football game with a bottle of water now, because it may be an illegal substance. I mean, health and safety gone mad, but it's just as well we asked them to check, because if you'd had that many people in a confined space with guns, then things may have got out of hand. A player by the name of Just Fontaine knocked in 13 goals in 6 matches at the 1958 World Cup in Sweden. This is including a hat-trick against Paraguay and 4 against West Germany. So this was also when Germany was split into East and West Germany, so that's why it's West Germany if you didn't know that. West Germany were always a better team than East Germany. They always made it to the World Cup. East Germany, not so much. But yeah, 13 goals is pretty insane for one World Cup, considering the fact that the most goals scored over a World Cup career is by the Brazilian Ronaldo, not the Portuguese one, the Brazilian one, and he scored 15 goals over all the World Cups he's managed to play in. So the fact that you get 13 in one World Cup is that must have been some pretty good football right then. He must have been a very good footballer to have managed to do that. Now things start to get a little bit dark. Saddam Hussein's son Uday tortured the Iraqi team when they didn't qualify. Players were jailed for missing training, and losing led to floggings and baths in sewage. So yeah, if you lost the game, then you would have either been publicly humiliated, I think that's what flogging is, or you would have been forced to take a bath in sewage. Which is, that's disgusting. I'm pretty sure no one would want to take a bath in sewage. And the fact that you didn't show up for training led to you going to jail. I mean, normally it's just a fine. I don't see why you wouldn't show up for training anyway. But then again, if I'd been tortured the day previously, I wouldn't have wanted to see that person again, if you know what I mean. So I can sort of understand where the Iraqi team are coming from with this. The Italian vice president of FIFA, Ottorino Barassi, or Ottorino Barassi if you're Italian, hid the World Cup under his bed during World War II because he didn't want the Nazi troops to steal it. So fair enough to him. I wouldn't want the Nazis having the World Cup either. Could you imagine if like we had to salute to Hitler before every single game instead of singing the national anthems of each team? That would be so weird. If the Nazis won World War II, things would be so different, and I'm so glad that they did not. So yeah, I think that's a plus that we can take from this point, and the fact that the World Cup didn't get damaged, I don't think. It may have been damaged in World War II, I'm not actually too sure. Might have to look up on that. Tell me in the comments down below, was the World Cup damaged in World War II? That's your question for this video, because I can't remember. I remember hearing something about it, but it may just be me making up things in my head. And our last point for today, we're ending on a bit of a dark note, so I apologise for that. I didn't mean for it to happen like this. But Colombian Andres Escobar scored an own goal at the World Cup in 1994. He was later murdered by gangsters who lost money betting on Colombia doing well in the competition. So if England do bad in this competition, then... No, I'm joking. I wouldn't want any of the players to be murdered. That's not like a death warrant. No, just... No, don't even take that into account what I just said. So, yeah, but England team, keep your eye out, do well, right? Score some goals. But, yeah, that's just amazing, the fact that you score an own goal and you get killed for it. But this is, I guess, what things were like in, when was this, 1994? No, not so much. You would have thought it would be like, at least like 1960s kind of, maybe even 1940s, that kind of era. But, yeah. The fact that a guy got killed for scoring an own goal is a bit crazy if you think about it. And Marcelo scored an own goal yesterday in the opening game for Brazil. So hopefully Marcelo does not get murdered by Brazilian gangsters. We've got our fingers crossed for you, Marcelo. But just have some extra security over the next couple of days. Alright, so yeah, like I said, a bit of a dark note to end the video on. But thank you for staying till the end. Thank you for listening to my facts about the World Cup. Enjoy the rest of the World Cup, guys. I know I will, even if England get knocked out, which is pretty inevitable. It's going to happen. So yeah, but if you did enjoy the video, hit the like button for the World Cup, because World Cup fever, yeah, spirit. And hit subscribe if you're not already, because the World Cup is amazing. And if you're watching this on Necessary Gaming, then be sure to head over to my channel and hit subscribe. I've just recently hit 400 subs. I don't normally do videos like this, but the kind of videos I do focus on is more Call of Duty kind of stuff, tips and tricks, not even so much that, but I do a lot of Call of Duty videos. That's what I focus on. So yeah, without further ado, my name is Turgful. It's about my time to go now. I will see you guys later. Goodbye. Figaro.